Genoa City erupts, a shocking kiss, a holiday meltdown and a power shift that could end the Newman-Abbott war. Thanksgiving week in Genoa City delivers one twist after another, and every storyline is now colliding in ways nobody saw coming. At the Abbott mansion, an emotional holiday dinner explodes into a moment that changes everything when Claire shocks Kyle with a Thanksgiving kiss that leaves him speechless, and leaves the entire family quietly reeling. What was supposed to be a warm, sentimental gathering suddenly becomes the spark of a brand new chapter, one that could reshape Abbott loyalties forever. But the drama doesn't end there. Across town at Crimson Lights, Audra's jealousy finally reaches the breaking point. Her meltdown at Nate becomes the talk of Genoa City as she realizes he may be slipping out of her grasp for good, and possibly slipping right back into Victoria's orbit. Claire and Victoria, already raw with grief from Cole's absence, now find themselves making emotional moves that could reignite old flames and deepen new tensions. Meanwhile, Kane faces a humiliating holiday blow-up that leaves him standing alone after a confrontation that destroys his Thanksgiving, and possibly his future with two of GC's most powerful women. And just when the town thinks they've witnessed enough chaos for one holiday, Jack drops a bombshell plan on Ashley and Tracy, a bold, dangerous strategy tied to the stolen AI program and Victor's brewing attack on Jabot. But everything may be about to shift again. Because Jack's next move may put him directly in the path of danger, and could even make him the unexpected hero Nikki needs as Matt Clark's shadow moves toward Genoa City. One life-saving moment could change the future of the Newman-Abbott war forever. A kiss that changes a family. A meltdown that exposes a heart. A plan that could topple empires. And a rescue that might rewrite decades of rivalry. This week, every storyline hits a boiling point, and the fallout will shake Genoa City to the core. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Abbott Thanksgiving takes an emotional turn as a surprise kiss steals the night, while a holiday blow-up leaves Kane standing alone. Thanksgiving in Genoa City was supposed to bring warmth, healing, and a little holiday cheer. Instead, it delivered heartfelt reconciliations, tense run-ins, and one unexpected kiss that may shift the Abbott family dynamic heading into the winter months. From the Newman Ranch's quiet truce to chaos at Crimson Lights and a meaningful farewell at the Abbott estate, the holiday proved anything but predictable. Newman Ranch, olive branches and unspoken worries. The Newmans gather for their traditional holiday celebration, with Abby and Devin making a brief appearance due to a packed workday. Their visit is warm but quick, giving Nikki little time to fret about their packed schedule before another guest steps through the door, Nate. The moment he arrives, Nikki casts a questioning look at Victor, already sensing a story behind the surprise. Nate comes bearing thoughtful gifts, Nikki's favorite tea and a bottle of tequila for Victor. It's a quiet gesture, but one loaded with intention. Victoria and Nate step aside, sharing a quiet toast in honor of gratitude, healing, and the loved ones they're missing. Despite their complicated past, their conversation feels gentle, two people navigating grief and unexpected emotional ground. But it's Nate's conversation with Victor that truly shifts the tone. Addressing one of their most painful past conflicts, Nate acknowledges his role in pushing Victor towards psychiatric treatment during a time of crisis. It's a bold and humbling admission. Victor listens, evaluates, and, shockingly, lets go. Thanking Nate for supporting Victoria and Claire, Victor accepts the apology and clasps his hand in a firm handshake. When the family gathers for a toast, Victor speaks of unity and gratitude, while Nikki adds her own quiet hope that faraway loved ones, Summer, Nick, and Noah, are safe. It's a warm moment, even if her worries linger behind her smile. After goodbyes are exchanged, Victoria walks Nate out and surprises him with a peppermint hot chocolate to go. The playful gesture earns her a quick kiss on the cheek, a moment both sweet and slightly electric. As he leaves, Victoria turns back to acknowledge her father's gesture of peace. Victor, in his own gruff way, simply tells her that forgiveness does not erase history, but sometimes it's necessary. Elsewhere at the ranch, Chelsea and Adam prepare to collect their kids from the skating pond. Chelsea marvels at Connor's recent progress, while Adam quietly admits he's grateful for her. A brief kiss seals their moment before they head into the brisk evening. Crimson lights, a volatile mix of memories, missteps, and misunderstandings. Inside the cozy coffee house, Amy, Lily, and Esther prep for the annual community Thanksgiving meal. Each woman is wrestling with her own memories. Amy recalls past holidays with Damien and their son. Lily reflects on family moments from years gone by. Just as they find a rhythm, Kane walks in, prompting Lily's immediate, "What are you doing here?" Kane hesitates, assuming Amy wouldn't want him anywhere near the event. But Amy, showing growth and grace, stops him from retreating. Avoiding the space won't bring Damien back, she reminds him. Lily, less convinced but determined to keep the peace, hands Kane an apron. For a moment, things feel almost normal, until Phyllis steps inside. Her arrival sends Lily packing within seconds. Esther, ever honest, points out that Phyllis has an uncanny ability to clear a room. As Kane and Phyllis begin to bicker, their old patterns quickly resurface. Phyllis needles him about volunteering just to impress Lily. Kane fires back, accusing her of jealousy. Phyllis insists she's merely protecting him from emotional backsliding. Their banter shifts toward Phyllis's mysterious new business venture, which Kane doubts even exists. Lily returns in time to hear enough to confirm her own assumptions. She bluntly tells Kane that his supposed transformation means nothing while he stays tethered to Phyllis. Actions speak louder than words, and the whole city is watching. Amy and Lily leave for the Winters family dinner. Phyllis tosses her apron aside with a sharp, "See ya," leaving Kane standing alone in the echo of their argument. Abbott Mansion, a family feast filled with gratitude, and a kiss no one saw coming. While other parts of town swirl with conflict, the Abbott home glows with warmth and tradition. Harrison almost begs Claire to stay for Thanksgiving dinner just as Jack arrives with Ashley. Their entrance brightens the room, and Jack proudly declares, "Happy Thanksgiving," filling the house with laughter and affection. Claire, touched by Harrison's insistence, agrees to stay a bit longer. The family gathers in the formal dining room, where Jack proposes that everyone share what they're thankful for. Ashley goes first, expressing deep appreciation for her family's unwavering support through every recent upheaval. Diane follows, admitting she finally feels truly embraced by the Abbotts after years spent on the outskirts. Billy raises a toast to their late father, John Abbott, and acknowledges the strength his family gives him. Sally, still adjusting to the Abbott world, says she's thankful to be welcomed into such a genuine, loving circle. Tracy speaks of healing after a difficult year. Kyle thanks the group for helping him grow, and Claire shares her immense gratitude for finding a home she never believed she deserved. Harrison steals the spotlight by thanking everyone, and by giving pumpkin pie an enthusiastic shout-out. Jack closes the circle by saying he's grateful that no matter how tough things get, the Abbotts always remember what matters most: love, unity, and loyalty. It's a heartwarming scene until the final moments of the evening change everything. Later, as the family winds down, Claire prepares to leave. Harrison hugs her tight and asks when he'll see her again. Kyle offers to walk her out, stepping into the cool night air together. Their quiet conversation shifts into something more tender. Claire tells him she's glad she stayed. Kyle admits the day wouldn't have felt right without her. Their eyes linger, their words soften, and then Claire leans in and kisses him. The kiss is soft, unexpected, and full of meaning that neither of them seems ready to unpack. Claire whispers a warm goodnight and slips away, leaving Kyle standing on the porch with more questions than answers. Victor's secret, the winter's warm gathering, and Kane's final blow-up. Back at the Newman ranch, Nikki grows increasingly uneasy about Nick and Noah's whereabouts. Victoria shares her concern, wondering whether Victor might be keeping something from them. Victor brushes it off, insisting everything is fine, but his firm, overly confident tone raises suspicion. At Society, the Winters family gathers for a comforting holiday dinner featuring one of Amy's signature recipes. They welcome her into the fold with genuine affection, reminding her she's part of their family now. Lily leads a toast to love, trust, and resilience. Meanwhile, Kane confronts Phyllis again at the GCAC. Their argument reaches a breaking point when Phyllis tells him there isn't room for both Lily and herself in his life. With that, she storms upstairs, leaving Kane frustrated and alone for the second time that day. A Thanksgiving that changes everything. What began as a day for gratitude ends up steering several Genoa City residents toward new crossroads. Victor may be hiding a truth that could shatter the holiday calm. Kane finds himself isolated after burning bridges with both Lily and Phyllis. Claire's spontaneous kiss leaves Kyle reeling, and may rekindle a connection neither expected. Thanksgiving may be over, but the emotional aftermath is just beginning. Today's next update. Y&R Monday, December 1st, Audra's jealous meltdown rocks Crimson Lights. Jack drops a bomb on Ashley and Tracy. The drama returns to Genoa City on Monday, December 1st, with an episode packed full of heartbreak, anger, and a looming corporate crisis that could shake one of the town's most powerful families. After a holiday break in programming, The Young and the Restless comes back swinging as Audra reaches her breaking point and the Abbotts face a disturbing threat. Audra snaps as Nate refuses to forgive. Audra Charles has been trying, desperately, to earn back a sliver of respect from Nate Hastings. But when she approaches him at Crimson Lights hoping for even a civil conversation, she gets nothing except another icy dismissal. Nate barely gives her more than a nod before brushing her off again, and that's when something inside Audra finally cracks. She isn't expecting instant reconciliation, but Nate's refusal to even acknowledge her humanity sends her straight into emotional overload. For weeks she has apologized, reflected, and tried to show genuine remorse for the ways she manipulated him and Victoria. But Nate, who now seems firmly aligned with Victoria both personally and professionally, refuses to budge. Audra comes to a hard realization: it doesn't matter how many ways she tries to fix the past, Nate simply won't let it go. And that's when she finally lets her anger, jealousy, and heartbreak spill into the open. She tells Nate she's done begging for forgiveness and done waiting for him to see who she is now instead of who she was. She acknowledges the obvious: Nate's moving on with Victoria, and decides it's time she stops clinging to what used to be between them. Even though part of her still cares deeply for him, Audra vows to break the emotional tie and forge ahead on her own terms. But the pain behind her words proves this clean break won't be clean at all. She may walk away, but her jealousy and frustration are far from resolved. Threat at Jabot sends shockwaves through the Abbott family. While Audra is unraveling at Crimson Lights, the Abbott mansion becomes the center of a growing storm. Jack gathers Ashley and Tracy for a difficult conversation about Jabot's future, and the threat that could jeopardize everything their family has built. Jack reveals that the company's stolen AI design has now landed in Victor Newman's hands, creating a dangerous blend of corporate power, personal rivalry, and long-running Newman-Abbott hostility. Victor is already several moves ahead, and if he chooses to weaponize the stolen technology, Jabot could be blindsided. Ashley immediately asks whether Jack has a plan, and while he does, it's one he admits won't go over smoothly with the family. The path he intends to take is bold, risky, and controversial enough that even those closest to him may question the strategy. Still, Jack refuses to sit back and wait for Victor to strike. His goal is simple: protect their legacy before Newman Enterprises gains the upper hand. But achieving that goal may require alliances, sacrifices, or decisions the rest of the Abbott clan won't be eager to make. Tracy listens quietly but with visible concern, knowing full well that family unity has always been their biggest advantage, but also their biggest weakness when disagreements arise. Jack stresses that time is running out. The Abbotts need to stand together before Victor makes his next move. Today's next update. YNR November 26th recap: Claire's shocking Thanksgiving kiss leaves Kyle reeling, and the Abbott family forever changed. Thanksgiving at the Abbott home is almost always emotional, but this year's holiday ended with a moment no one saw coming, not even Kyle Abbott himself. What began as a warm family gathering filled with gratitude, relief, and long-awaited healing took an unexpected turn when Claire stepped onto the porch, looked Kyle in the eyes, and kissed him. The quiet, tender moment instantly rewrote the energy of the day and may set the stage for one of the most surprising new relationships in Genoa City. A holiday of healing and new beginnings. The Abbott mansion was alive with tradition as Jack led the annual ritual of sharing what each family member was thankful for. Ashley, finally home and feeling grounded again, expressed deep appreciation for her family's support through her difficult year. Diane embraced her long-sought sense of belonging. Billy toasted the strength of the Abbott legacy. Sally admitted how meaningful it felt to be welcomed so warmly. And then there was Claire, sitting at the table for a holiday she never expected to share. Claire's gratitude was quiet but deeply felt. She spoke about the second chance she's been given and the kindness she never thought she deserved. The Abbotts, one by one, acknowledged her growth and resilience. Even Kyle offered a small tribute, recognizing how far both he and Claire had come from the chaos of their past. But the person most thrilled by Claire's presence wasn't an adult at all, it was Harrison. He glued himself to her side, proudly showing her his seat at the table and urging her to stay just a little longer. His excitement softened every remaining hint of hesitation Claire carried. For the first time, she didn't feel like a guest. She felt like she belonged. Claire's quiet walk to the door changes everything. As dinner wrapped up and the family settled into after-meal chatter, Claire knew she needed to return home. Harrison pleaded for just one more story, one more game, one more hour, but Claire gently promised she'd be back soon. Kyle offered to walk her out, and the two stepped onto the porch into the cool evening air. It wasn't awkward, it was warm, familiar, and unspokenly charged. Kyle thanked her for staying longer than planned, telling her that the holiday felt more complete with her there. Claire admitted the day meant more to her than she expected. After months of rebuilding her life, this was the first time she felt truly seen. And then, before either of them could overthink it, Claire leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't rushed or impulsive. It was soft, intentional, and full of quiet emotion, a moment born from gratitude, connection, and the sense that something new was beginning. Kyle froze for just a second, stunned but not displeased. The surprise flickered into something warmer in his eyes, but before he could respond, Claire whispered, "Happy Thanksgiving," and slipped into the night. Why the kiss changes everything. Claire has been fighting an uphill battle to rebuild her reputation and her sense of self, and the Abbotts, especially Kyle and Harrison, have been central to that transformation. But this kiss marked a turning point. For Claire, it was her first bold step toward claiming a life she believes she deserves. Instead of waiting for acceptance, she acted on her own feelings, a sign of real emotional healing. For Kyle, the kiss forces him to confront something he hasn't been ready to acknowledge. Claire matters to him in a way he can't ignore. After a year filled with heartbreak, failed relationships, and overwhelming pressure, Claire has quietly become a grounding force in his life. For the Abbott family, Claire's deepening connection to Kyle complicates their already delicate acceptance of her. Welcoming her as Harrison's comfort is one thing, welcoming her as Kyle's potential partner is another. Emotions inside the Abbott home could shift quickly as the family sees where this goes. For Harrison, he adores Claire, and any change in her place in Kyle's life will impact him directly. He's already attached, and that raises the stakes on every decision the adults make. What comes next? While the Abbott family celebrated unity, gratitude, and healing inside the mansion, something very different took root on the front porch. Claire walked away with a newfound hope, and Kyle was left with a mix of confusion, warmth, and possibility he didn't expect to feel. The kiss may have lasted only a moment, but its impact could reshape the dynamics of the Abbott family for months to come. Claire and Kyle aren't just turning a page. They may be starting an entirely new chapter, one that no one in Genoa City is prepared for. Today's next update. Jack's heroic move could change everything for Victor, Nikki, and the Newman-Abbott war. Tensions have been high in Genoa City for months, with Jack Abbott and Victor Newman locked in yet another bitter clash. But a new threat circling the Newman family could flip the entire rivalry on its head, and possibly force Victor to reconsider the man he's been determined to destroy. According to upcoming developments, Jack may soon find himself in the unlikely role of Nikki Newman's protector again, just as a dangerous figure from her past returns with revenge on his mind. What happens next could determine whether Victor's long-running vendetta finally collapses or intensifies. Why the feud exploded in the first place. Jack's controversial decision to shock Nikki into facing her addiction has been a sore spot between him and Victor ever since. His tactics worked. Nikki entered treatment and began the painful process of getting her life back. But Victor didn't see it as tough love. He saw it as Jack deliberately pushing Nikki toward disaster. That moment reignited their decades-old hostility, giving Victor new motivation to strike. With the stolen AI technology now in his possession and a plan to destabilize Jabot, he's been preparing his next move, one that could leave Jack and the Abbott family in ruins. Jack knows something is coming. He can feel it tightening around Jabot and the people he loves. What he doesn't expect is that his chance to stop Victor may arrive through an entirely different crisis. The threat no one sees coming. With the Los Angeles storyline wrapping up, Matt Clark's shadowy return to Genoa City is shaping up to be explosive. He has unfinished business with the Newmans, the entire family. And Nikki sits high on his list. Once Matt sets his plan in motion, the Newmans could find themselves vulnerable, scattered, and unprepared. It's Nikki, still in recovery and unsteady on her feet emotionally, who may be in the most danger. And this time, the rescuer may not be Victor. Will Jack be forced into the hero role? If the danger escalates, and all signs point to that, Jack could find himself right back at Nikki's side when she needs help the most. Whether by accident or instinct, Jack tends to run toward chaos when people he cares about are threatened. And for all their complicated history, his bond with Nikki remains real. A scenario where Jack steps in to protect her from Matt's scheme would be a major turning point. Not only would Nikki's life hang in the balance, but Victor's perception of Jack would be tested in a way nothing else has in years. A rescue like that could rewrite the very narrative Victor has been clinging to. Could Victor finally hit the brakes on his revenge? Jack saving Nikki, or preventing something catastrophic, would force Victor to acknowledge a truth he's tried to deny. Jack isn't the enemy he's made him out to be. He's flawed, yes, but his heart has always been with the people he loves. If Victor sees Jack putting his life on the line for Nikki, it may be enough to make him rethink his ruthless plans against Jabot. Pride has always been Victor's greatest battlefield, but even he has limits when Nikki is involved. Would he really continue plotting revenge against the man who protected her? That may be the turning point fans have been waiting for. What happens next? Jack's potential rescue could shake up the power dynamics in Genoa City, redefine the Newman-Abbott rivalry, and give Nikki a new chapter in her recovery. Whether it's enough to halt Victor's warpath remains to be seen, but for once, the two titans may find themselves on the same side of a battle. Stay tuned. The fallout could reshape everything. Today's next update. Cole's absence sparks emotional shifts for Claire and Victoria, while Genoa City celebrates love and style. Thanksgiving in Genoa City isn't just about turkey, toasts, and traditions this year, it's also about unexpected reconnections, emotional detours, and a fresh mix of romance and remembrance. With Cole's passing still weighing heavily on both Victoria and Claire, the holiday has stirred up old memories, and possibly old flames. At the same time, across town, Danny and Christine's glamorous wedding continues to be the talk of the week as fans swoon over the fashion, the guests, and the unforgettable moments. In true Y&R style, heartbreak and celebration are unfolding side by side. A Thanksgiving without Cole, and two lives quietly shifting. This year marks the first Thanksgiving that both Victoria and Claire are facing without Cole, and the weight of that reality gently shapes their choices in the November 25th episode. Though they're trying to move forward, both women find themselves pulled toward people from their past in surprising ways. Claire has been keeping her distance from Kyle since their breakup, determined not to slide backward into old patterns. But that resolve is tested when she bumps into him at Crimson Lights during a quick stop for Harrison's dessert run. What starts as a polite exchange becomes something more personal when Kyle acknowledges the emotional heaviness of Claire's first holiday without her father. His tone is softer, more understanding than she expected, and something in Claire shifts. Kyle extends an invitation for her to stop by the Abbott Thanksgiving, even if only for Harrison's sake. He tries to make it easy, insisting she doesn't need to stay long or mingle if it's uncomfortable. But his message is clear, she belongs there more than she realizes. Claire agrees to try to swing by, even though navigating the Newman holiday table is no small feat still. The interaction hints that the distance between them may be shorter than Claire is pretending it is. For viewers, her reaction raises one big question. Has Claire truly closed the door on Kyle, or is she circling back to something deeper than a momentary fling? Some fans believe she briefly explored the thrill of someone new, like Holden, only to realize her emotional ties to Kyle run far stronger than she admitted. Meanwhile, at the Newman Ranch, the Newmans gather for their own massive Thanksgiving feast, complete with Nikki proudly announcing that she bought the biggest turkey available. But beneath the cheerful bustle lies a complicated emotional landscape. Nikki makes it clear she doesn't want business talk at the dinner table this year. After everything the family has weathered, she craves a peaceful, drama-free moment together. Victoria cautiously asks whether it's all right to invite Nate. Nikki hesitates but says yes, and Victor eventually agrees too, even though Nate nearly destroyed the company not long ago. His acceptance shocks Victoria, who expected a harsher reaction. Victoria then reveals the truth. Nate helped her through the darkest stretch of grieving Cole. They connected at a time when she needed someone steady, someone who wasn't pulling her into corporate wars. Nate's breakup with Audra pushed him into soul-searching, and he no longer wants the power-driven life that once tempted him. Victoria, too, doesn't want to drown in Newman business again. She's working, yes, but she's not seeking the old battles. With both Nate and Victoria standing at emotional crossroads, viewers are left wondering. Is grief quietly guiding them back to each other? Or is this the beginning of a slow-burn reconnection either of them planned? For now, Nate's arrival at Thanksgiving seems less about rekindled romance and more about stability. But on YNR, stability is often the spark before the fire. Across town, glamour takes center stage at Danny and Christine's wedding. While heartbreak and healing shape the holiday elsewhere, Genoa City also turned out in full elegance for the wedding of Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair, an event bursting with style, sentiment, and surprises. The two-episode celebration featured some of the loveliest wardrobe moments viewers have seen all season. Christine, a fan-chosen fairy tale. The star of the wedding was, of course, Christine herself. In a touching twist, fans helped choose her dress, and their choice delivered a perfect blend of nostalgia and modern romance. Christine walked down the aisle in a strapless white gown with a sweetheart neckline and a sparkling belt that shimmered under the lights. The elegance of the dress made her glow, giving longtime viewers a beautiful moment of déjà vu and triumph. Lauren, bridesmaid perfection. Beside the bride was Lauren, whose fashion instincts never fail. Her pale lavender one-shoulder dress, decorated with soft floral detailing, struck exactly the right balance, stunning, supportive, and not overshadowing the bride's moment. Diane, blue, bold, and unbothered. Diane arrived solo, thanks to Jack being tied up with business drama. But that didn't stop her from stunning in a short-sleeved, glittering blue dress. She enjoyed herself, until Phyllis inevitably disrupted the celebration. Still, Diane's look turned heads, and she held her own emotionally and fashion-wise. Esther, a sparkly surprise. Fans were delighted to see Esther step away from her Crimson Lights apron and into a sparkly black mini dress that brought a fun, festive edge to the wedding. Her presence added heart to the day, even though her accidental allergic flower fiasco nearly caused chaos. Tessa, sweet, simple, and stylish. Tessa, performing and attending as Daniel's guest, wore a soft blue floral dress paired with fresh blonde waves. After months of heavy storylines, viewers were thrilled to see her glowing, cheerful, and musically inspired again. Danny and Daniel, dapper duo. Danny looked every bit the rock star groom in his classic tux, but his son Daniel gave him serious competition with a sleek tux of his own and a stylish gray jacket. The Romalotti men proved that talent and good tailoring run in the family. A holiday of healing, heartbeats, and high fashion. Thanksgiving week has brought Genoa City a mix of grief, possibility, and sparkling celebration. Victoria and Claire navigate the emotional echoes of life without Cole, each facing unexpected connections. The Newman holiday table hints at new beginnings. And Danny and Christine's wedding brings joy, romance, and unforgettable style. As the holidays continue, one thing is certain. Every relationship now shifting, every spark, every choice, will shape the new year in ways nobody in Genoa City sees coming. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.